Okay, guys, and welcome back. Sorry for the abrupt ending last time. Fraps stopped recording or something like that. Anyway, I kind of went to the options menu because I had to escape that lazy saying, "After 10 years, Total Wars, till the." But so today we're gonna go over the encyclopedia, and then the next part I'm gonna go over a few battles. So let's go right into it. The encyclopedia is basically. Alright, I have to turn her off. Sorry, guys. Okay. What? I thought I turned you off. Yeah, you're all the way to the bottom. So I have to turn all this off too? That. Alright, this is definitely a glitch or something. Am I gonna have to talk to her? Okay, I'm just gonna turn my volume off. Okay, so I apologize if you guys are distracted by her. But basically, the encyclopedia is their answer to. Remember in all the arguments where you right clicked and it showed the unit stats and kind of a brief history, which no one reads? And then, well, this is basically that, but it contains everything and you can find it online. That's basically it. I'm a little disappointed that there isn't a search bar. I will really appreciate that. But basically you have your units, which is helpful if you're just researching which clan you want to start, which we'll get to in a minute. But you can just go to like Sir Infantry, and these are all the units of the game. So they really narrow them down to Katana Samurai, Nodachi Samurai, and Peasants. And then of course a few heroes in there. That's just for sword infantry, and then you have spear cavalry, bow cavalry, blah blah blah. Sorry, I can't say that. Cavalry, general. Oh, one question about the general. I know nothing about Japanese culture, but why do they have like this big Christmas Santa sack on their backs? That's kind of what annoyed me. No wonder they couldn't fight too well in some of my battles. But anyway, then you have your buildings. This is lagging for some reason. This is kind of helpful because it shows you all the base buildings here, and then how they steadily progress and how they get better and better. For instance, starts out of a fort and now it goes to a citadel, which has all these defenders if you have no ones at your town, which I discussed in my last video. Increases a lot of stuff. And then arts shows you the whole skill tree to get to this. I'm not getting into this. Clans, and I decided. And the cool thing about this is that you can just click on these, and you can just scroll through them all and see their bonuses and see which one you want to start on, and then or play through. And then you can see their location on the map and see who's going to be fighting against you and so on and so forth. My two favorites are probably this one. Just because inside the tutorial I always had tons of bow guys or arrow firing guys, which is not a problem, but these guys how am I going to say this? Each of them have their own unique bonuses for each. For instance, one of them is extra farming. These guys ships, the Chisukabi, which the tutorial's about or the demo's about. Their bonus is, I think, like lower recruitment and upkeep of arrow firing guys and like special Chosukabi archers or something like that. Well, these guys, the Katana Samurai, are their bonus, and these guys, the ships, are their bonus. And so my two favorites are probably these guys, the Shimuza, which is probably the guys I'm going to start with just because they're isolated and I can only have like 2 or 3 fronts here. And as I discussed in my last video, I think the recruitment and upkeep costs of units are ridiculous, so I'm either going to get really strong and then build a few massive armies and move out, or just have them there. Blah 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 blah. You'll see. layer when I play through. And then my second favorite are these guys because their bonus is cavalry. But they're kind of in the midst of this whole war here. So we'll see how the AI handles itself playing against itself on the campaign map, but I think it's going to be pretty epic. Then you get the characters, which describe all the agents. I'm a little disappointed that they have so many agents, but the general is pretty general. You know what he does. The ninjas, kind of self-explanatory. The Geisha is basically an assassin, or a ninja that can't sabotage. I think that's a good way of putting it. It's a ninja that can't sabotage. And it can't hide. So it's easier to kill or convert with a Mitsuku, or I believe a monk can do that too. Okay, so monk inspires a town, character conversion, population conversion, demoralization, site revolt, and inspire army. Mitsuku, bribery, detection, overseeing, apprehending. So they're basically like the cops. These guys are kind of like the mafia, and missionaries are basically like the monks, but for a different religion. Okay, provinces. And this is kind of cool, because remember how I said that I was going to start with the guys over here? Well, if you go back to clans, you can see the exact province that they're going to start on. And then you can say, oh, that's 48. And then you can go to 48 if they were numbered correctly. And you can go to Satsuma. And then you can see that their special thing is smithing. Click on that. Go to smithing again. And see what bonuses and buildings they're going to start out with. And you can kind of plan your empire before the game actually comes out. So that's kind of cool. I apologize if my mic is too low. I realize that's on 50%, so I could increase the intake, but anyway. And the specialties, which is just what we were on. I gotta sneeze, hold on. Okay, and we're back. And, yeah. These are all pretty self-explanatory crafts. Enable construction of... Okay, that wasn't self-explanatory. Enables the construction of Kabinukama. I'm sorry if I'm mumbling. I do not enunciate enough. But anyway, and then they have latest news and reviews, and then if you click on one of these, it opens up whatever is your default internet browser, and it shows you the article, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the encyclopedia. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you next time.